Cavemen Sports is also brought to you by the Food Bank of Northern Indiana, Kevin Putz of First Midwest Mortgage, BSN Sports, Barnaby's of Mishawaka and Granger, U.S. Sign Crafters, Bethel University Athletics, Beef O'Brady's, Pet Refuge, Rossini Pizza, Jay's Crunchers Potato Chips, In Rug Co. Studio and Gift Shop, Monterey Mexican Grill, Kyle's Towing and Recovery, and by McAdoo's Family Restaurant.
Welcome to Mishawaka Cavemen Basketball on 96.1 The Ton. This is the Mishawaka Cavemen pregame show.
Brought to you by School City of Mishawaka, growing leaders in a culture of excellence the Mishawaka way.
And greetings to one and all on 96.1 The Ton, your home for the Mishawaka Caveman. Good Saturday night. I'm Brian Miller. Ron Heklinski, the former Caveman coach, alongside Matt Embry, spinning the dials back at our 96.1 The Ton studios. A busy sports day here locally and certainly around the world as far as NFL playoff action going on as we speak. Lots of college basketball, college hockey, but our sights here on the radio, and for a whole bunch of people who've gathered here tonight at Mishawaka High School's Cave, we will have a huge conference clash for first place at stake in the Northern Lakes Conference. That is because the 12-2 Mishawaka Cavemen, winners of 9 games in a row, will play host to the 7-7 Northridge Raiders. But in the conference, Mishawaka right now in second place, a half game behind Northwood. The Panthers were victorious last night over Goshen, 45-29. They stand 4-0 in the league. Mishawaka, the maroon and white, stand at 3-0. But happy Saturday to one and all. We had a great night of girls basketball action, a gutsy effort on the road last night by the Mishawaka Lady Cavemen before they bowed on senior night to the Raiders of Northridge over Middlebury, 61-53. That was a hotly contested game, and Ron Heklinski, we're expecting very much more of the same here. Although a little snake bit is Northridge right now in a couple different ways. We're expecting a great one, no doubt.
Yeah, I think Northridge's record is a little deceiving. They're 7-7. They've lost 6 in a row. And when you look at the Sagarin ratings, I think the Sagarin ratings are probably the best ratings that you can look at to rate a team, to rate a level. Northridge has the 39th toughest schedule in the state of Indiana. So 39 out of 400, they have the 39th toughest schedule. Conversely, Mishawaka has the 140th toughest schedule.
And when you put that into computer terms as far as wins and losses, Northridge's opponent's combined record is 109 and 74, while Mishawaka's opponent combined record is 84 and 88.
So don't let the record of Northridge fool you. They'll be a very formidable basketball team tonight. They fall in love with the three. They love to shoot the three. Ryan Bales, who has 2 sons playing on the team. Ryan was the head basketball coach at Plymouth High School for a number of years, had a great basketball career at Bethel College and at Bethel University, now the AD at Northridge. So he brought both of his sons to play, Nolan Bales and Mason Bales. Mason's a sophomore, Nolan's a senior, and they both have the green light, and they will fire and shoot and do a lot of things at a lot of different times in this game.
So while Northridge at 7-7 is a bit snake bit with that 6-game losing streak, you might note this team was at one point, after a December 21st win over Fort Wayne North, 72-67, they were standing tall at 7-1. They lost in 3 games in the Noblesville Holiday Tournament on December 27th and 28th to the host Millers, along with Castle, and then to Chesterton. And since then, a couple of games in January that were nail-biters down the stretch, only to fall short against Warsaw and against Northwood. The Tigers bit them January 6th, 47-41, and January 13th against Northwood. A lead at halftime spun around to a Northwood Panther team that, again, is unbeaten in first place in the NLC. Northwood would beat Northridge in a game of arch rivals there, 51-46. But anytime you play as tough a schedule as what Scott Radiker's ball club has done, and anytime that you have as many coaches' kids on the floor, heck, something at some point is going to turn around. And I know Mishawaka fans are hoping it's not tonight for Northridge.
Well, I mean that's the case. They run a great program there. They teach their kids how to shoot the three ball. We 2 years ago they had a great team, and we defended them really, really well. That was one of the big wins in the NLC for us to go on and win the conference championship that year. And a couple weeks later, we followed it up with a win against Northwood. So this will be a great contest for Mishawaka. Mishawaka has come out historically this year and played okay in the first half. Bodie Bender chooses to play a lot of kids in the second quarter, but in the third quarter they've been really, really good. They've outscored their opponents by a ton in the third quarter. He's going to play the kids that are hot and have played really well in the first two quarters, the rest of the game, and they've done a great job in the third quarter this year.
So welcome to our pregame show, sponsored by School City of Mishawaka, growing leaders in a culture of excellence the Mishawaka way. JV game is a very hotly contested contest. The 8-3 Cavemen under Coach Steve Sheltraw are in a 2-point battle right now with Northridge in the closing moments of the fourth quarter. But we'll keep you abreast on those happenings. We'll certainly talk more in depth about the Cavemen and the Raiders, the Northern Lakes Conference chase, and much, much more, all coming up on tonight's pregame show. A little later on, we will visit with the coaches in tonight's contest. Certainly Bodie Bender, first-year head coach for your Mishawaka Cavemen, and John Sparks, who is the acting head coach tonight for the Northridge Raiders. We'll tell you why that is the case and much, much more as we continue on the pregame show. But first time, this time out, you're in tune with Mishawaka Caveman basketball on 96.1 The Ton, and tonight joined also on the Mishawaka Network.
Some people see a huddle in the locker room. We see a second classroom. Some see a student athlete on the court. We see a future leader in the community. You see, high school sports in Indiana are special. That's because they're about learning and growing, not just winning and losing. Fans, I'm Commissioner Paul Neidig. Support education-based athletics in Indiana by buying a ticket to your high school's next athletic event.
This is your IHSAA. This
doesn't matter if there's no time or not. He should be allowed to take his 3 shots.
I mean,
so. What if this is a varsity game and he's got 997 points?
Great point. Great point.
I'm just saying. What do I know?
And I have to agree with you, but the officials have called the game. The 2 coaches are down at center court after the teams have shook hands and exchanging a few thoughts and pleasantries and heading off into what is now warm-up time for our varsity action. Coming up, it'll be Mishawaka and Northridge in boys varsity basketball. This Caveman club has won 9 games in a row. We mentioned earlier 12-2 and 3-0 in second place in the NLC. They won on Tuesday after a close first quarter, won handily at South Bend Clay 83-62. The last loss by this Caveman club, you have to go back to December 13th, a home Tuesday night loss to the Michigan City Wolves. But with 9 games left, the Cavemen certainly focused on tonight's battle, along with 3 more big games in the Northern Lakes Conference race at Goshen next Friday, at Warsaw February 2nd, and home against Northwood on February the 10th. Meanwhile, this coming Tuesday, Mishawaka will be back here on the home floor against the Fairfield Falcons, a team right now that is struggling to the tune of 3-9. So no looking ahead, no worrying about tomorrow or next week or February. Tonight, it's all on the cards here against a rival Northridge. A rivalry because in just 3 years in the NLC, these 2 teams have split the games, the home team winning. Last time these teams met, January 22nd last year, 2022, at the Madhouse in Middlebury. Northridge won by 6, 59-53. Last time these teams played at the Cave, as Ron Heklinski alluded to a little while ago, a big home win. That was January 23rd of 2021. Mishawaka won by a count of 57-45, one of the big wins on the home floor, to moving on to clinching a part of that Northern Lakes Conference championship. Prior to Mishawaka's days in the Northern Lakes Conference, the teams played in the NIC-NLC tourney back in the 2014 and 2011 seasons, and those teams split there. The last time these teams met in 2014, Northridge won by 1, and prior to that, Mishawaka with a win 47-43 on December of 2011. So a lot of the history, but certainly looking ahead to tonight, a big home game, and again, we're hoping the fans will continue to show up here and be that 6th man for the Mishawaka Cavemen. So 12-2 versus 7-7, and first place, of course, on the line in the Northern Lakes Conference. We'll continue on the pregame show. When we come back, we will visit with Bodie Bender, head coach of the Mishawaka Cavemen, and we will also talk with John Sparks. He is the acting head coach for the Northridge Raiders. He is subbing tonight as the head man or calling the shots as the acting head coach, as Northridge head coach Scott Radiker's mother-in-law passed away just earlier today. We send our thoughts and prayers to Coach Radiker and his family, but he has opted to take a priority card and make family first, as he should, and will not be on the sidelines with his team tonight. However, his son Cam is here in uniform and will be one of the starting guards for this Northridge club. Coach Sparks will discuss that more in detail in just a few moments on our pregame show. We'll take a timeout. We'll continue after this timeout. You're into Mishawaka Caveman basketball here on 96.1 The Ton and the Mishawaka Network.
High school football fans, welcome back to Friday nights, to pure spirits, to pure sports. Welcome back to high school football.
Fans, I'm IHSA Commissioner Paul Knighty, and I just want to say, welcome back!
This is Friday night. This is Indiana high school football. This is your IHSAA.
Some people see a huddle in the locker room. We see a second classroom. Some see a student athlete on the court. We see a future leader in the community. You see, high school sports in Indiana are special. That's because they're about learning and growing, not just winning and losing. Fans, I'm Commissioner Paul Knighty. Support education-based athletics in Indiana by buying a ticket to your high school's next athletic event.
This is your IHSAA. This is your state. This is your high school. This is your athletic association.
Fans, I'm IHSA Commissioner Paul Knighty, and we're here to make sure that all of this remains yours.
This is your state. This is your community. This is your IHSAA.
Our coaches' comments continues on 96.1 The Ton. Your home for Mishawaka K-Man basketball, brought to you by our coaches' comments. Beef O'Brady's of Grangers. We visit with Bodie Bender, head coach for your Mishawaka K-Men. Well, let the game begin. There's been a lot of talk about this one, and finally Saturday night's here. You're the spotlight game of the Northern Lakes Conference, and we're expecting a good one.
Yeah, we're going to start running into some teams here that are, predominantly pretty good here in the NLC, and the first crack is Northridge, and they have some guys now that can shoot it, so we're going to have to go where tonight.
Certainly you guys coming off an interesting win at Clay Tuesday night. It looked like an NBA game in the first quarter. 2-point Clay lead. They couldn't miss. You guys were playing okay. But Clay come out on fire. You guys then got a surge, took control in the second quarter, and never looked back.
Yeah, I don't know that myself or any of the coaching staff thought that they would go red hot from behind three, but I just had a feeling, going in at half, at some point they were going to come back to earth a little bit. And they did in the third quarter. It was a lot of one shot up, and we'd get the rebound and go down and score. So, hopefully we can have a little bit of that luck tonight. Certainly
over this stretch and this winning streak of 9 games, it seems like it's been different people at different times stepping up, whether it's in an entire 4 quarters or maybe just in a specific surge of a game or a point of the game. But Tuesday was a battle of 2 great point guards, and certainly Arthur Jones held up his end of the bargain for Mishawaka.
Yeah, Arthur had another good basketball game for us, kind of running the show offensively, and he got other guys involved, and he's done a really good job of that this year. So that's got to continue for us here if we want to try to wrap this conference up here in the next couple weeks.
Tonight, Northridge comes here. They're certainly struggling right now after a rough loss Tuesday. While you guys were at Clay winning, they were getting hammered on the road at Penn. Certainly getting beat by Penn anytime is tough, but when you get hammered the way they did, as a coach, do you question psyche? Do you question heart? What did you see as you saw tape and as you scouted this Northridge team?
I watched some of their film against Northwood, and they were up at the half. They were up 41-37. The little Bales kid, Mason Bales, hit some huge threes for him, and I'm talking from volleyball range threes. And, he's a kid that plays on emotion, and if he hits one, he might hit 3-4 in a row. And I don't know if it's because he's streaky. I think it's more because he's emotionally invested in the game. So, I don't think we can allow them to have that kind of start here in the cave. I think we've got to obviously have a quick start. And then it'd be nice if we could continue those third quarter surges that we've had here in the last 9-10 basketball games.
Certainly over those last 9-10 ball games, we mentioned a moment ago about the different heroes or the different people who've stepped up in their time. How competitive are you making playing time as far as your expectation, or basically, hey, you're challenging the kids. If you want on the floor, this is where you have to participate, and this is how hard you have to play, or what are you looking for?
I think, in practice, it's pretty even as far as how they sub in and how they go through certain segments of practice that we have drawn out. But, I think the kids know that you have a certain period in the first half. If you play well enough, you're going to be a part of that substitution pattern in the second half. And I think we've had some different ones on this surge here a little bit. I think they know that. I think they've kind of embraced that, and that's nice to see. And they all pick each other up, and they're all, I feel like on the bench, they've all been pretty well invested.
Talking basketball with Bodie Bender, head coach for your Mishawaka Cavemen tonight. They take their 12-2 record here on the home court versus 7-7 Northridge. I know we talked briefly about the Raiders, but give me a little more in-depth scouting report on Northridge.
Man, I tell you what, 7-7, and they've lost 6 in a row. I think they're kind of dangerous coming in. They really have 3 kids that could score at any point, and for us, we're going to have to get back in transition, whether we make a shot or miss a shot. And we're going to have to find some guys. And you can start with, I've already talked about him a little bit with Mason Bales, 22. And then you have his brother who will run the point a lot, Nolan Bales, the senior. He can make some shots. He's got a good dribble pull-up. He's very steady. He gets them in offense. And then you got Little Radiker, coach's kid, Cam Radiker, who's another guy that I think plays on emotion. I like the big boy inside, Alex Ellenson. I think he's smooth. I think he's slithery at times in the post. And then if he does go to the perimeter, which he may some, he's got the ability to drive the basketball a little bit.
It's also difficult when you prepare for this Northridge team because there's a certain mantra about coaches' kids.
Right.
Well, I got a whole squad of coaches' kids here between 2 Bales, former Plymouth basketball coach and now Northridge AD, certainly Cam Radiker, Scott Radiker's son, and then you've got Springer, whose dad's the head coach for a pretty darn good girls team.
Yeah, so we got 4 of them, and I'm going to assume they all have high basketball IQs, which, makes it that much easier when you go ahead and scout them.
Scouting. Last night, you hit the road to scout, and with the girls taking center stage for Mishawaka Northridge Friday, you got the chance to go watch Northwood and Goshen, and certainly other coaches out scouting games. What were some things that you saw in the game you scouted, and maybe your impressions of some other games that happened last night?
Goshen's got a guy that can really score in Deacon Hill, and, next Friday he's going to have to be one that we focus on, and then you talk about the Northwood Panthers. I can see why they're ranked number 2 in 3A. They're big. They're long. They run their stuff very well. You talk about the 2 players in Brenner and Rosh, who are really good players, and they defend at a high level as well. So those are 2 teams down the road that with Goshen next week, but Northwood not till February 10th, I believe. We'll worry about those a little bit later. We've got to take care of this one tonight.
Shame on me for looking ahead. Shame. I'm a coach. I know better than that. Okay, tonight there's been a lot of hype about this game, about bringing the fans out, bringing the crowd out, having the student body here. Your thoughts on all that hype?
I think this is a pivotal game for us. If we can find a way to win this game, we're down to 3 conference games. Goshen next week. Warsaw on Thursday, February 2nd during the girls' sectional week, I believe. Is that correct?
That is correct.
And then, Northwood on February 10th. So we've just got to focus on trying to take care of this one now. I'm not worried about Tuesday night. I'm not worried about being on TV Tuesday night. That's not the focus. We can talk about that Monday. I think, and you can ask the coaches, I think our guys are ready to play.
What are the final keys?
Well, for us, our guys got to know personnel. You mentioned it earlier. You got 4 coaches' kids on the team, 3 of them that play a lot. So our guys are going to have to really know tendencies. I think for us, they're going to have to recognize if they're in something, Arthur, Jackson, Snyder, anybody, Rasan is going to have to get us in something offensively so we can attack their defense. And then I think another big one, because they have some length, and sometimes they will play the 2 big boys together in Zepp and Ellenson, we can't be given a bunch of second chance opportunities tonight. It's got to be kind of a philosophy that we've been trying to brand in them all year, a one and done. You get your 1 shot, and then we're going to go down and we're going to score on you. So if we give up a bunch of second chances tonight, it could really hurt us tonight.
Best of luck this evening.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
Bodie Bender, head boys basketball coach here at Mishawaka High School. Tonight, the Cavemen taking on the Raiders of Northridge in a key Northern Lakes Conference clutch contest. When we come back, we'll talk about it with Raider head coach Scott Radiker. You're on 2 with Mishawaka Caveman Basketball on 96.1 The Ton and the Mishawaka Network.
Some people see a huddle in the locker room. We see a second classroom. Some see a student athlete on the court. we see a future leader in the community. You see, high school sports in Indiana are special. That's because they're about learning and growing, not just winning and losing. Fans, I'm Commissioner Paul Neidig. Support education-based athletics in Indiana by buying a ticket to your high school's next athletic event.
We continue on the pregame show from 96.1 The Ton. Our coaches' comments continue, sponsored by Beef O'Brady's of Granger. We visit with John Sparks. He's the acting head coach tonight for the Northridge Raiders. And some sad news to hear, Coach Scott Radiker not with the team. Unfortunately, lost his mother-in-law earlier today, so obviously a sad time.
Yeah, Coach is a great guy, a family guy, and we really, hearts go out to them, and we love Robin, and I mean, her mother's been around the program too, moved up to Middlebury to be close, and this is a big loss for her and for the whole family, and we're praying for them and thankful for them.
Our thoughts and prayers go out as well. John, you're no stranger to the Northridge program. You've been a part of this for 5 years. You're going to run the team tonight in this battle against Mishawaka. You coach with Coach Radiker at North Montgomery, and you guys know what you're doing. It's, you know, you're not going to change the game plan, I would assume.
No, Coach Radiker's fingerprints are all over this team, right? I mean, really, we are such a cohesive unit together that, I mean, it would take a lot to separate what he's done here at Northridge. So, no, I'm going to be carrying on what he's set in place, the culture, the fundamentals, the belief systems, the core values that he carries on. That's what we're going to be doing. This is not a John Sparks thing at all.
Tonight, you guys come here and obviously a little snake bit as of recent. You've had some tough losses. You guys play a monster schedule. But what's been the difference from those first 7 wins to having struggled here with 6 losses recently?
Well, I do think our schedule has been really tough. You're not wrong. But early on, we made some real tough plays to get some tight wins. You look at those first 7 wins that we had 3 buzzer beater type of plays that could have gone either way, and unfortunately we ended up on top of those. And just kids were really tough, and I think we're getting there again. We've really dedicated ourselves to being together and just working on toughness all the time. And so, I mean, yeah, we had a buzzsaw on Tuesday against Penn.
You took the words out of my mouth.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good team, and Burton shot it well, and yeah, that was a bad result. But honestly, we've played pretty well at times, even though we haven't won. And so I hope the kids can see that and feel that we're getting better.
Obviously, close calls against Warsaw, against Northwood here as of recent. The unfortunate thing for Northridge, you guys are a little shorthanded tonight, not only without your head coach, but you got a couple kids on the shelf right now. Talk about while you lose Zamuda, you're going to lose Cranston tonight. Who are some kids who are going to have to step up and maybe just take it to the next level to help the Raiders tonight?
Well, I think always starts with your seniors, right? So Nolan Bales is such a consistent hard worker, a great defender, can really get hot. And Alex Ellison, our other senior, I mean, Alex is a rare combination of height, athleticism, and hands. I wish that he'd been healthy his first 2 years of high school, because I can only imagine how good he would be now, because he has come so far in these last 2 years. So we're going to rely on them first and foremost, but then, it's an opportunity for some of those guys that don't normally get to play, like Gideon Campbell, as much. I mean, he's in the regular rotation, but he's going to have more minutes tonight. And Wyatt Zepp is another guy that's really come on lately, and we're excited about what they can do. It's an opportunity for them.
We're talking with John Sparks, acting head coach tonight for the Northridge Raider boys basketball team as they take on your Cavemen of Mishawaka. What does the Northridge Scouting report say about the maroon and white from Mishawaka?
Well, they're playing really well right now, aren't they? I mean, 9 wins, averaging like 72 over the last 5. They feel like they've got a little momentum right now. And so really good team overall that just attacks the basket in a variety of ways on offense. Love to drive. We got to keep them out of the paint. They got several guys that'll post up and be physical down low. So, we've got to match that intensity. And they just I think they're averaging over 10 points a game on offensive rebounds and over 10 points a game in transition. So that's a spigot that we can't let just run freely. We've got to shut that off as much as possible and, then take our chances with what we can do in the half court against them.
Playing at home, I know that's a very big advantage for Northridge teams, girls and boys. We were there to witness the girls' game last night, the Madhouse in Middlebury. Does the mentality change as you go on the road, in particular to a place like Mishawaka?
This is a great, fun gym to play at, but I don't think the mentality should change. We're not going to lie that the Madhouse is a great place to play, but man, this team, again, the reliance on toughness is a big deal. That's got to be a core value, and great time to practice it. Great opportunity here at the Cave.
We wish you guys the best of luck, John. Thanks for spending some time with us. And again, our thoughts go out to Coach Radiker and his entire family. Thanks for your time.
Thank you, sir.
All right, that is John Sparks, acting head coach for the Northridge Raider boys basketball team. Tonight, they will lace it up against the Cavemen of Mishawaka. Coach Ron Heklinski and I will return with the final word on the pregame show. Starting lineups, tip-off just around the corner. Here too with Mishawaka Caveman basketball on 96.1 The Ton and the Mishawaka Network.
Some people see a huddle in the locker room. We see a second classroom. Some see a student athlete on the court. We see a future leader in the community. You see, high school sports in Indiana are special. That's because they're about learning and growing, not just winning and losing. Fans, I'm Commissioner Paul Neidig. Support education-based athletics in Indiana by buying a ticket to your high school's next athletic event.
Mishawaka High School Athletics, Superintendent Theodore Stevens, Principal John Ross, and boys basketball coach would like to welcome Northridge's players, coaches, and fans to tonight's Northern Lakes Conference basketball contest. Ladies and gentlemen, you might not be wearing a team jersey, but you are still a representative of your high school. Please conduct yourself in a way that reflects positively on your team, your school, and your community. Mishawaka High School Athletics HSAA sportsmanship scores an outstanding 105. Thank you for helping us to maintain the score by practicing good sportsmanship during tonight's game. Mishawaka High School would also like to thank St. Joseph Health System and certified athletic trainer Helen Hess, working hard to keep our athletes in the game. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise if you can. Remove your hats for the play of our great nation's national anthem.
Mishawaka High School Pep Band. An update for you on the U.S. Signcrafters scoreboard for you NFL fans in divisional round AFC play earlier today.
Game just concluded. Kansas City defeated Jacksonville by a count of 27-20. Meanwhile, in the world of college hockey, Notre Dame drops the second half of their weekend series at number 6 Penn State as they lose to the Nittany Lions by a final count of 3-2. A busy day in sports. Matt Embry will keep us updated on the U.S. Signcrafters scoreboard, along with other things like Notre Dame's men's basketball loss today to Boston College, 84-72. Starting lineups being introduced down on the floor for this Northridge club. They average 51.5 points per game offensively, while they give up 56.9 points defensively. And acting head coach John Sparks will go with this combination. One guard will be 5'10" sophomore Cam Radiker. He is a sophomore. And also another guard, he is a point guard, 6'1" senior. He's one of 3 seniors on roster for Northridge. Number 12 is Nolan Bales. And the shooting guard at 6'2" and a sophomore, he is the younger brother of Nolan. This is Mason Bales. They are both the sons of longtime Plymouth head basketball coach and the current Northridge athletic director, Ryan Bales. So again, Mason Bales, Nolan Bales, and Cam Radiker make up the guard trio, while Alex Ellenson, a 6'8" senior, will start at 1 forward, and 6'7" junior Wyatt Zepp will get the starting nod over the injured Noah Zamuda, who's out with a shoulder injury suffered last Friday against Northwood. If there's any mismatch on the floor and any tall task, no pun intended, then Mishawaka's head has been the size of maybe one player from another team, equal maybe Michigan City. They saw that with Riley. They saw height against Mishawaka Merriam. But Ellenson and Zepp at 6'8", 6'7" do provide some concerns for the Cavemen.
Yeah, I don't think so, because they're not big, 6'7", 6'8". They're thinner people, and Mishawaka will be able to counter with 6'3", 6'4" Brady Fisher and Cooper Pritchett, who's very, very active and physical. And then Mishawaka's going to bring in their own Tommy Herringer, who at 6'3", 250 is going to be able to take care of business.
Starting combination, the starting lineup sponsored by Bethel University Athletics. A familiar one for Mishawaka, Jackson Snyder at guard, Cooper Pritchett at forward, Rasan Johnson at guard, although he will jump at the center circle now. Arthur Jones at the point, and Brady Fisher at forward, and Rasan Johnson and the Cavemen after a collision at middle floor, and Rasan bumped heads to his face with one of the competing players for that loose jump ball. It is controlled, not without maybe a loose tooth or two, to Mishawaka. Cavemen will go left to right. They'll go topside 3-ball launch, in and out and in for Arthur Jones. And Mishawaka off and running with a 3, count it 3-0 lead.
Arthur got his footwork done. He got the great pass right back to him and knocked it in.
It is Nolan Bales out center floor. He'll fire it off to the far right side to his brother Nolan. Center floor now Radiker. Raiders shooting at the north basket here at the Cave, going right to left as we describe it from the Crow's Nest here at Mishawaka High School's gym. Deep to the foul line extension right side is Bales in the corner. Reverse skip pass from one brother to another, now to Zepp. Out center floor to Radiker. Dribbles, drives on Brady Fisher, looks for the fadeaway, kicks it out left side, jumper up and jumper in. Mason Bales just outside the arc hits the 3, and we're knotted at 3.
That was deep for the smooth lefty sophomore for Northridge.
Off foul line extension left side, Jackson Snyder goes down to Arthur. Jones with the basketball left side to Rasan. Top side to Fisher. Near right side now to Arthur. On the wing, Jackson Snyder dribble penetrates at 6:40 first quarter. We're knotted 3-3. Rasan dribbling, driving, going up with a shot. Partially blocked on the way up by Zepp. Rebounded by Northridge. Raiders on the push. They'll bring it in the forecourt and set it up now with Nolan Bales. Bales with the basketball defended by the man-to-man and Arthur Jones. Right of the block. Ellenson. Scoop pass out. Catch and shoot from 3. Zepp swish. Although he's 6'7", Wyatt Zepp can pull up and hit the J, and it's 6-3 Northridge.
Northridge doing a great job of moving the ball and getting their footwork done and being able to get those threes off quickly.
Arthur left side to Jackson Snyder, picked up by Radiker on the defense. Now Fisher right side to Arthur. He'll step back, try the tray, miss it too strong. Rebound pulled down by Bales. That is Mason Bales. And over the back is Rasan Johnson for the game's first foul.
I will tell you, there's a nice crowd here in the Cave tonight. The Mishawaka people have turned out. The Northridge people have turned out. So the setting for Hoosier hysteria in the Cave is really nice.
And we've got almost the best seat in the house. Right at midcourt, high above in the rafters here at the Cave from press row. Left side, faking, dribbling, spinning. Bales, the point guard, dishes it out far right side to the older brother. Now top side, look in, nothing there for Zepp. Now to Bales, post feed inside to Ellenson, back to the basket, turn right, fake, go left, shot put up, no good. Rebounded by Bales, and a foul, or do we have a play out of bounds?
I think it's a foul on Arthur Jones.
It was a whistle, but not a real demonstrative set of hand signals. And now the report at the scores table, Arthur Jones first, team second at 5:28 first quarter, 6-3 Northridge with the lead and Raider basketball. They'll inbound it into forecourt, baseline right. Now Radiker will lob it out center floor. Goes to Ellenson. They'll swing it back in the corner again. Bales to Radiker, right in front of the Mishawaka bench. Radiker, long range three, up, no. Rebound, Zepp, and a collision in mid-air for the rebound between Zepp and Rasan Johnson. And it's going to be a Raider foul for pushing to get that rebound. Wyatt Zepp guilty for his first and team's first foul.
That was a deep three-pointer by Cam Radiker. And, I'm talking 3 or 4 steps beyond the arc.
Gideon Campbell, a 5'10 sophomore, checks in for Northridge. Their roster with 11 players, 3 seniors, 1 junior, 5 sophomores, and 2 freshmen. Jackson Snyder center floor to Cooper Pritchett. Left side, Fisher dribbles, drives, leans and fakes, leans it again, hits the square and scores it. Brady Fisher with a good aggressive move and then a soft touch in the lane, hits the square for 2, and it's a 6-5 Northridge Raider lead. Center floor now, Radiker with the basketball, picked up by Arthur Jones. Now a switch off defensively, and Brady Fisher got a little bump there, and then a loose ball saved by Bales, pounced off the chest of Johnson and saved by Arthur. Up the floor, Jones with a little Euro step between the defenders, and he's bumped and fouled by a Northridge defender. They're letting contact go, Heck, and I'm not sure.
Well, this is the same crew that had the Mishawaka Plymouth game at Plymouth with Eric Colborn, Brett Patrick, and Kirk Robinson.
Inbounds, catch and shoot right point, all alone, missed by Cooper Pritchett. And the missed and rebound down to Northridge. Bales on the push, outlets left side, runner by Campbell, put up no good. Brady Fisher pulls down the rebound with authority. Johnson, long pass under the basket. Cooper Pritchett fakes, goes up for the shot. Loose ball blocked, rebounded by Northridge. Saved on a steal by Jackson Snyder, and the Cavemen with the loose basketball. Fisher drives the paint, scoops to Pritchett, shot put up, blocked, and a foul. Great hustle to keep that possession alive. And now Cooper Pritchett will go to the stripe to give the Cavemen either a tie or a 1-point lead with 4:12 first quarter. They trail 6-5.
The action has been fast and furious here, and already Northridge has been whistled for 3 fouls. Mishawaka has been whistled for 2 fouls.
Foul on Alex Ellenson as Cooper Pritchett rims the free throw in and out, no good. Had a lot of spin on it, a lot of English, but it did not fall. Pritchett looking for his first points, had a couple shots rattle off the rim a moment ago. He's a 64% free throw shooter. The Cavemen, as a team, are a 64% free throw shooting team. The second free throw makes this a 6-6 tie. 4:10 first quarter. Up the floor now, Bales. Nolan Bales playing the point. Bales picked up there by Rasan. Jump pass to the right point, goes to Ellenson. Reached in and stolen by Brady. Fisher on the steal. He'll drive the right side. Running layup, too strong. Off the hand of a Raider rebounder. That'll be Campbell. And out of bounds to the Cavemen.
That's the second turnover for Northridge. And Northridge was fortunate that Ellenson didn't get called for a foul there.
Inbounds Johnson to Arthur, fakes the 3, dribbles inside Two-Land, double pump running jumper up, no good. Blocked by Ellenson, that's his 4th block, and then he deflects the shot by Brady Fisher, but also commits a foul.
And I believe that'd be his 2nd foul, which will be really tough for Northridge. Northridge is already shorthanded, so now Ellenson will have to come out. And, I don't know Coach Sparks' philosophy, whether he likes people playing with 2 fouls in the first half. Probably not.
Free throw by Brady Fisher. This is short off the front of the rim, no good. Cavemen off to a 1-for-3 start at the free throw line. And a Northridge substitution. You will see Wyatt Zepp, 6'7" junior, who got the start. Came out about halfway through this period. Subs in for Alex Ellenson, who again has 2 fouls. Second free throw, Fisher misses. Rebound, Pritchett, put it back up and in. Offensive board, Cooper Pritchett, and it's 8-6 Cavemen. Center floor now, Bales with the basketball. That is Nolan, the point guard. His outlet pass deflected, stolen by Arthur Jones. He'll go on to contested, lay it up and in. Jones with a steal, Jones with a score. Cavemen with a surge to lead it by 4. 3:29 to go first quarter from the Cave. Mishawaka 10, Northridge 6. You're in 2 with Mishawaka Caveman basketball on 96.1 The Ton and the Mishawaka Network.
Some people see a huddle in the locker room. We see a second classroom. Some see a student athlete on the court. We see a future leader in the community. You see, high school sports in Indiana are special. That's because they're about learning and growing, not just winning and losing. Fans, I'm Commissioner Paul Neidig. Support education-based athletics in Indiana by buying a ticket to your high school's next athletic event.
Brought to you in part by Kevin Butts of First Midwest Mortgage. Call Kevin if you're in the market to buy, sell, or refinance your home at 287-1152. Along with Ron Hecklinski, I'm Brian Miller. Timeout Northridge. Heck, this has been a good little mini run here for the Cavemen.
Well, it's all been fueled by athleticism and their quickness and their ability to guard. And let's see if Northridge can get it back together here.
Mason Bales with a basketball. Now to brother Nolan. He'll drive the left of the lane. Gets a fake of a shot up in the air. No. And now he'll go back outside to Campbell. Dribble drive right side. Now it is Bales. Hands it away. Goes to Campbell again. Campbell right in front of the Mishawaka bench. Long range 3. Put up. Missed by Mason Bales. Rebound Mishawaka. They'll out to Rasan. And Rasan with a long leaning layup as he leans around the defenders both left and right of him. Puts it up and in. Rasan has his first points. The Cavemen up the lead to 12-6.
So missed threes lead to long rebounds. Long rebounds lead to run-out baskets. And Mishawaka is adhering to that formula just perfectly.
Caveman substitution, 6'4" junior. Tommy Herringer will sub in for Cooper Pritchett at 2:44 first period. Cavemen have made it a 2-for-1 special. 12-6 they lead it. Zepp, deep left point. Dribbles once, picks up his dribble. Looking left, looking right, goes back out to the hash mark right side to Radiker. Radiker dribbles, tries to work it in inside. Now he'll lean in and he drug the pivot foot as he put on the brakes. Good defense here by Jackson Snyder right on his hip the entire time.
That's the 4th turnover by Northridge. Northridge going to have to move the ball via the pass and not dribble it so much.
Now up the floor through the center circle here at the Cave. Rasan Johnson to Jackson. Snyder, dribble penetrate, dishes to Brady. He'll fake, dribble, drive, leans in for a shot and misses it with an air ball, but I believe a push underneath the basket either in the act of shooting or afterwards for the rebound. It'll be possession Mishawaka, a foul after the shot by Brady Fisher that was missed. And Gideon Campbell will pick up his first and the team's 5th. Inbounds, common foul, Mishawaka, 2:13 first quarter, they lead 12-6. Inbounds, Arthur, quickly to Johnson, back to Arthur, reverse hook pass, goes off the side of the rim, it was deflected by Zepp, saved by Jones, but then Jones falling out of bounds, ultimately stepped out of bounds, landed in the lap of a couple of patrons down in the end zone seats. They exchange pleasantries and will go about their business now with Northridge basketball.
That's the first turnover by the Cavemen, and it comes at the 2:03 mark in the first quarter.
Bales and Associates, they bringing the ball up the floor. That is Nolan and Mason Bales, the sophomore and senior brothers in this Raider combination. Near side now, they'll find Campbell with it. Dribbles to the top side, finds Springer who just subbed in. That is Dylan Springer. Now ball faking left, going to the right. Now jump pass into the corner, nothing there. Springer will dribble out center floor. Now to Campbell, looking for a back cut, nothing there. His jump pass down from the outside by Bales is intercepted, stolen by Mishawaka. Good lead pass, down the left side, running layup good, and a wonderful pass by Arthur Jones to Rasan Johnson, who's got his 4th point. 14-6 Cavemen.
Again, Mishawaka turns them over.
And now Herringer snags away a pass. Takes the passing angle, picks the pocket, and now sets the Mishawaka offense up with a pass in the forecourt to Rasan. Johnson at 69 seconds of the period. Works it left side. Back cut to the basket. Arthur Jones bobbled it, but on the way up, regained control, put it up and in, and Northridge forced to burn another timeout with 1:02 to play here in this first quarter. Cavemen, they're right now on a run of 12-0. Timeout. 16-6 is the score. Mishawaka leading Northridge. A full timeout. We're back in 1 minute on 96.1 The Ton and the Mishawaka Network.
This is your IHSAA. This is your state. This is your high school. This is your athletic association.
Fans, I'm IHSA Commissioner Paul Knighty, and we're here to make sure that all of this remains yours.
This is your state. This is your community. This is your IHSAA.
Cavemen going to work for this final shot here and eat some clock. Down to 10 seconds. They lead it by 8. Arthur dribbles, drives, left point, puts in the brakes, feeds inside. Herringer fakes left, goes right. Strong to the basket, up and in. Took it right at Ellenson. Long desperation, 65-foot shot, no good. And we go to the quarter break. After 8 minutes in the books, and the Cavemen lead it by 10. Mishawaka 18, Northridge 8. You're in 2 with Mishawaka Cavemen basketball on 96.1 The Ton and the Mishawaka Network.
High school sports fans, welcome back to Game Time, to pure spirit, to pure sport. Welcome back to high school sports.
Fans, I'm IHSA Commissioner Paul Knighty, and I just want to say, welcome back.
This is Game Time. This is Indiana high school sports. This is your IHSAA.
Number 2, along with the former coach, Ron Heklinski. I'm Brian Miller. After 1, Mishawaka impressive with an 18-8 lead.
Yeah, the turnovers have really hurt Northridge. They've committed 6, and Mishawaka has capitalized on all of those. Now Mishawaka comes in with a different lineup, but Jack Troyer, Anthony Nelson, Maddox Yohe, and Ace Troyer, along with Tommy Herringer.
So going with a different combo here to begin this period. Been something that the Cavemen have done for the most part about the last 10 or 12 games or so. Radiker with the basketball, alternate possession arrow to Northridge to begin this period. Ellenson still out there with 2 fouls, along with Bales, and also Zepp. Right side, Radiker. Dribble penetrates on Jack Troyer. Hook pass out center floor to Bales. He'll try to dribble past Tommy Herringer away from the basket. Can't get inside. He'll cut and then spin and fire a pass to nobody except the Caveman cheerleader down here in the end zone.
Turnover number 7.
And possession Mishawaka just underway here in period number 2 from the Cave. A good crowd here at Mishawaka High School. Still room if you're in the pending stages looking for something to do here on this Saturday eve. Herringer, corner right, or corner left rather, to Maddox Yohe. Yohe bounce pass in the paint. Tommy fakes out, goes in, running jumper, put up no, missed from 13 feet. Rebounded by Northridge and Zepp. Zepp up the floor, gives it in the left corner to Bales, and Bales traveled with it.
The 1-3-1 that Northridge came out with to start this second half with the big fella, Ellenson, up top. Now, it's crucial, really crucial, that he doesn't pick up his 3rd foul in this second period. And Coach Sparks will have to manage his minutes a little bit.
So backcourt inbounds to Maddox Yohe. Now Nelson will bring it across the far left side into the forecourt. Sets it up now to Yohe, center floor playing the point. Fakes it left, fakes it right, jump pass back out center floor to Anthony Nelson. Nelson dribbles into the teeth of his zone, and when he put on the brakes, drug the pivot foot, so a Mishawaka turnover, and possession back to Northridge, trailing. The Raiders are by 10, 18-8. Mishawaka leading with 6:42 here before halftime.
That's second turnover for Mishawaka, so a pretty good, clean floor game for them so far.
Radiker with the basketball, dribbles right side and with the right hand. Now reverses to the left, comes near side, now gives it out right wing. Bales launches, misses badly. Rebound by the older Bales. Mason Bales puts up the rebound shot, no. Rebounded by Maddox Yohe. Yohe hands to Tommy and then gives it right back again. Yohe shy of the timeline, still in the backcourt, goes to Jack Troyer. Troyer pounds a bounce pass, and now they'll get it across the forecourt in front of the 10-second violation. Herringer's outlet then as they try to go inside-outside to Anthony Nelson in the baseline corner, and it was deflected out into the end zone seats. Possession to Mishawaka.
Tommy's got to calm down when he gets it at the high post because he had a great look.
Yohe fakes out, dribbles right, leans in, runs up with a floater, falling down, puts it up no good, rebounded by Nolan Bales. And now Yohe with an ankle injury, and in fact, Hannah Hess has ran out on the floor while the game is still going on. Mishawaka's trainer. And
there's no way that should happen. There's no way that should happen. The officials probably should have stopped the play, and the trainer should not have been allowed to be on the floor while the game's going on. Now, I know Maddox probably rolled his left ankle, but...
And he's up. Definitely a little gimpy. But have come off the floor. Arthur Jones will sub back in for him. But obviously Maddox, who's had injury issues in the past, probably a scary moment.
Well, Maddox is as tough as they come. I mean, he's taken, in the 2 years that I coached him, he's probably took maybe 30 charges in both years. And I mean got hit hard. Not falling before the hit, got hit hard.
Like Mack Truck type contact.
Like Mack Truck. So the freshman coming in now, Brady Scholl, had a great JV game. The freshman is going to come in for the big boy Ellenson and save him a little foul trouble.
That'll be Brady Scholl. Yes, he saw a lot of JV action earlier tonight. And right now, the biggest argument is John Sparks, acting head coach for Northridge, very upset with the fact that they stopped play on that transition when Yohe was down and Hannah Hess, the Caveman trainer, had went out on the court. They stopped play and then went to the alternate possession arrow for a jump ball, and Mishawaka gets to the advantage there. Center floor, Jack Troyer. Hash mark right side to Jones. He'll switch off. He'll dribble through traffic. Euro step around one defender, put it up and in, but he walked with the basketball. One too many steps for the Caveman point guard. Turnover Mishawaka. And at 5:31 to go first quarter, Wyatt Zepp will sub out. And Northridge will go to the bench one more time. So the freshman Scholl is in there with Radiker, Bales, Campbell, and Bales. Radiker right in front of the Caveman bench, dribbles around the defense, puts on the brakes right wing, kicks into the corner. Top side now, they'll swing it to Nolan Bales, launching a three, missing a three off the back arm. Rebound to Arthur. Jones with Radiker right on his hip, dribbles to the right wing, puts on the brakes. Center floor to Herringer now. Tommy comes near right side to Arthur at 5 minutes to go in our first half. 18-8 Cavemen. That was our lead at the quarter break, so we've gone 3 minutes with an offensive output of 0 for either school. Nelson, right side to Arthur. Jones fakes, dribbles, and draws contact with Radiker. He really threw the shoulder into Radiker, but Radiker first was called for the defensive blocking foul.
That's going to be a little education for Cam Radiker. Arthur Jones is an all-league player last year as a junior. He's got a really strong body, and will take the ball to the rack hard.
Inbounds, Mishawaka. They'll feed it into Ace Troyer. He'll go for the running layup. No good. Tapped away. Stolen by Northridge. Nolan Bales dribbles the left of the lane. Running layup is good. Nolan Bales, the senior of the Bales duo, has his first points, and it's 18-10. Those were our first points of the entire second quarter at 4:40 in the period. Left foul on extension. Jack Troyer dribbles now, goes topside to his brother Ace. Now to Nelson. Center floor to Tommy. Fakes the three. Dribbles to the left side. Goes to Jack Troyer. Topside to Nelson. Defended there by Bales. Nelson looks for the hook pass. Deflected. Chased down by Tommy Herringer. Loose ball deflected again. Herringer picks it up. And then he's reached it and fouled. And dramatically falls to the ground after he'd been double teamed by a pair of yellow-cladded Raiders. Northridge in their travel yellow, and I mean yellow. Yellow tops and bottoms with the green trim. Kind of a bit of a reminder of the color scheme of Notre Dame's basketball jerseys for the men's team back in the
John Shoemate
70s.
days, man.
Johnny Shoemate, Adrian Dantley and company.
I love those uniforms. So Mishawaka will shoot free throws now for the remainder of the half. Northridge has 7 fouls, and Mishawaka only has 2. Tommy shoots him well from the line. He knocks down the first one.
Herringer is 60, or try again, 76% free throw shooter on the season. Cavemen is a team 64%, and Herringer will improve both those stats as he goes 2 for 2 and has his 4th point. 20-10, Mishawaka with the lead at 4:10 here in the first half. Nolan Bales with the basketball. Right side gets a screen. Dribbles to the right point here. Puts on the brakes. Goes to his brother Mason. Tries a 3. Misses a 3. Chases down on one hop. It is Tommy Herringer. Herringer with the basketball. Dribbles in the forecourt. Hook pass out to nobody. Untouched, rather. Now Bodie Bender will campaign for a deflection, but that ball looked to be clearly thrown away.
Tommy, that's why we got guards, man. Get the ball to the guards and let the guards bring it up. If they turn it over, it's on them, big boy.
3:50, spoken like a true coach.
Yes, sir.
3:53, clock ticking here, period number 2. 10 for the Raiders as they trail it by 10. 20-10 our count. Backdoor cut. Bales, reverse layup, uncontested up and in. Somebody missed a defensive assignment there, and Nolan Bales has his second layup here in the period, his 4th point. 20-12, Mishawaka with the lead. Nelson, deep right wing. Passes topside to Jack Troyer. Troyer fakes, shakes, fakes, dribbles. Left side goes to Arthur. Jones looks for the inside feed, nothing there. Arthur fakes right, dribbles left, steps into a crowd, and then plows into a set defender. He tried to kick into the left corner to a wide open Anthony Nelson, but Arthur Jones right there trying to slide through a very small opening and crashed into one of the Northridge defenders who were set, and that foul on Arthur Jones is his second and team's 3rd of the half.
So Mishawaka now has 6 turnovers, so it's changed a little bit. The tide has changed a little bit.
Gideon Campbell back in the ball game, works it right side to Nolan Bales. Back to Campbell, fakes, dribbles, works around Jack Troyer and the runners against his numerical counterpart. Number 11 beats number 11 on that play, and it's 20-14. The Raiders have cut it to 6. 2:50 to play here in the first half. Arthur Jones up the floor, brings it to the left side now to Anthony Nelson. Ball fakes, pivots, and now goes back to Arthur, center floor. Arthur on the dribble, looking right, faking, dribbling left wing, in the corner. Jack Troyer fakes the dribble drive. Top side to Tommy, right wing Nelson, catch and shoot for 3, he'll get it! Perfect set with Anthony Nelson's feet set. Got a perfect pass from Tommy Herringer, who gets an assist, 23-14 Cavemen. Back under the basket, turnaround spinning move, put up no good. Tommy Herringer called for a blocking foul as he made contact with Alex Ellenson. He's out there playing with 2 fouls. A bit of a gamble by the Raiders. And interim head coach John Sparks, who's calling the shots tonight for veteran Northridge head coach Scott Radiker. Radiker in his 5th year at Northridge, 22 years overall as a coach. They coached together at North Montgomery, and he followed Coach Radiker here to Middlebury.
I'll bet he's coming out after he hits his second free throw.
Ellison hits the first free throw. The foul on Tommy Herringer was and is his first, team's 4th.
As Wyatt Zepp is at the bench getting ready to check in.
This one is off the mark, no good. No substitution because of the missed free throw. And the rebound to Mishawaka. Arthur up the floor, and then as he puts on the brakes, tries to cut back on a reverse, and Nolan Bales bumped him from behind. So Bales picks up a foul. That is his second. And the Raiders will also make that change with Alex Ellenson already with 2 fouls to sub out of this game.
I got news for Nolan Bales. There's no way you're going to guard Arthur Jones 40 feet away from the basket. You have to gap him, and you have to continue to move because he's too quick. You can't guard him. And Arthur's going to blow by you. Now he's going to put your defense in a bind.
Arthur Jones now with 8 points as he cans his first free throw try of the night. 24-15, Mishawaka by 9. 2 minutes, 18 seconds to play in period number 2. This free throw is missed off the back of the rim, no good. Swatted at, clawed at, and recovered on a loose bounce to Northridge. They'll bring it to the forecourt. Radiker. Dribble penetrates left side. Putting on the brakes. Radiker tries to pound his way inside, but Nelson holding his ground on defense. He'll swing it left to right. On the wing right side, Bales. Top side now, Campbell. Dribble penetrates, puts on the brakes. Goes back outside left wing to Radiker. 2 minutes and counting under here in the second quarter. Running by Radiker, putting up the jumper, no. And then Radiker gets the rebound and gets a little bump by Tommy Herringer defensively.
The ball will be out of bounds to Northridge.
But heck, as much bumping and grinding there's been going on, there wasn't a lot of contact there.
I know, but it's the big man bumping the point guard. Come on, you know that.
I never had the privilege of being either, so inbounds, Radiker dribbles into the left wing area, puts on the brakes. Goes center floor now to Nolan Bales. Northridge with the basketball, trailing by 9 with 100 seconds to go till halftime. Radiker with loose defense and the man-to-man by Nelson. Left foul and extension, Nolan Bales. Working on him defensively, Jack Troyer. Off right side to Radiker. Radiker defended by Nelson again. Dribbles once, goes top side to Zepp. He'll launch the 3. He'll rattle it in and out off the iron, no good. He hit one a few moments ago, but misses this one. Rebound Mishawaka. Minute 16 left in the half. Arthur, step back 3 ball, launched and swish. Arthur Jones with plenty of room, and Arthur with his 11th point.
Nice,
27-15.
Nice patience by Arthur to see if the guy was going to back off of him, and he did. And Arthur just calmly knocked it in.
Nolan Bales with a good dribble drive to the basket. Took Tommy Herringer, who's working out there against him with a couple fouls, and now Grady Fisher will sub into the caveman combination.
The thing that impresses me most about Arthur now is on the offensive end, he's really calm. Nothing really can get to him now. He's shooting the ball really, really well. And he seems to have this trust deal with Coach Bender, which has calmed him down.
Backcourt pressure. Grady Fisher dribbles it through the crowd. Steps out right side, gives it to Jack Troyer. Launching a 3, missing a 3. Loose ball rebound. Scramble for Jackson Snyder with the loose ball. Put it up no good. And then the Cavemen get the rebound, but bobble it and lose it out of bounds on the baseline.
The MO of Mishawaka is going after the offensive boards. They average about 10 offensive boards a game. And in that possession, they just crash hard.
10-point game.
Hard. And then it's up to the official if he wants to call a foul.
10-point game with 40 seconds and counting down now to 35 in the period. Northridge has gambled and brought Alex Ellenson back into the lineup. Radiker faking right, going left, dribbles to the corner, finds Mason Bales, out to Campbell, who nails a 3. Campbell with his 5th point, backcourt inbounds Cavemen at 19 seconds. Jack Troyer, along with Anthony Nelson, and now Jackson Snyder. Snyder in the backcourt, races it across against the double team. Picks up the dribble after he shreds off a couple defenders. 9 seconds. Right hash mark Nelson. Top side to Jack Troyer. Fakes, dribbles in on Bales. Down to 3, down to 2. Jackson Snyder strong to the glass and reverses right to left hand. And the little mini scoop layup is good to beat the buzzer. And the Cavemen of Mishawaka go to the locker room with a lead of 29-20. Great move by Mishawaka's Jackson Snyder. Halftime, our score here from the Cave. The 12-2 Mishawaka Cavemen, winners of 9 games in a row. And more importantly, 3-0 in second place right now. A half game behind Northwood in the Northern Lakes Conference chase. They lead visiting Northridge at the break. Mishawaka 29, Northridge 20. Stay tuned, our halftime report just around the corner. We'll check scoring, statistics. We'll have some updates with Matt Embry on the U.S. Signcrafters scoreboard and much, much more here at the break. With our score, Mishawaka 29, Northridge 20. Ron Heklinski now return for our halftime report after this timeout on 96.1 The Ton and the Mishawaka Network.
The Mishawaka Varsity and joint cheerleaders have been working with their junior cheerleaders throughout the day from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. today. They shared a nice meal, had some good fellowship and fun, and now they're going to perform many routines that they learned for you fans. Let's give a round of applause to the Varsity JV and our junior cheerleaders.
Cam Radiker, Dylan Springer, Brady Scholl played but did not score. We should also mention Mason Bales with 5, in case I missed that. Now, you might note Northridge playing without the services of Noah Zamuda, a normal starter and senior standout. He's out normally average right around 8 points a game. Big part of the package as far as inside defense is concerned. Shoulder injury he suffered last Friday versus Northwood. He is out until further notice. And James Cranston, a 6'1" sophomore, out with a concussion suffered Tuesday at Penn. And he is on the injury protocol for concussions and would normally see some action here on the varsity side. Did not see action and will probably be out a while. Cavemen will go on defense man-to-man as the Raiders work the basketball in the left corner. A spot-up 3 launched and scored by Mason Bales. And Northridge comes out of the chute to begin this half, cutting a 9-point deficit down to 6.
It's a baseline drive by Nolan Bales. Baseline drive, baseline drift, kicked it all the way across to his brother. His brother knocked in, and that's the way Northridge could stay in this game.
Johnson, Herringer, as now Rashawn works the dribble drive left side, and as he goes into a spin move, crashes into a Northridge defender, Cam Radiker, who will draw the offensive player control foul. So a 3 by Northridge on their first possession, then a turnover Mishawaka on the offensive player control foul. They are working with Herringer, Pritchett, Jones, Fisher, and the aforementioned Rashawn Johnson. And now Northridge down by 6 with the basketball. Center floor, they'll work it to the left side now. It is Wyatt Zepp. Post feed to Ellenson, draws a double team, loose ball on the floor, and they'll jump it up into a possession arrow, and they'll give the basketball back to Mishawaka. Checking the halftime scoring for Mishawaka, 2 for Jackson Snyder, 2 for Brady Fisher, 3 for Anthony Nelson, 3 for Cooper Pritchett, 4 for Tommy Herringer, 4 for Rashawn Johnson, high point man Arthur Jones with 11. Arthur will bring the basketball up the floor, works it out now center floor to the near side of us. To Johnson, the reverse skip pass to Pritchett in the paint. Brady, double team, kicks it top side to Arthur, fakes, dribbles, kicks it right side. 12-footer, in and out by Herringer. Rebound by Fisher, fakes in, goes out, cuts around the defender, up and in. Great move on the offensive board by Brady Fisher. His 4th point, 31-23, Cavemen by 8. Baseline move, good, strong, aggressive by Mason Bales, but then he lost the basketball out of bounds. Nobody touched it, so possession Mishawaka on another Northridge turnover.
The ability to drive against Mishawaka's quickness and athleticism is hurting Northridge, has hurt them all game. Move the ball with the pass.
Pritchett, deep right wing. Ball fakes, goes center floor to Arthur. Reverse skip pass back near side to Johnson. He'll give it back to Arthur on the right wing. Alley-oop back. Oh, it was supposed to be a pass, and the ball went in the basket. And Arthur Jones, with both palms in the air, looked to the bench like, I didn't mean to do it, but guess what? It counts as a basket, and the Cavemen lead 34-23. Offensive set, Northridge with a runner. They missed the shot. Rebound now Mishawaka. Rashawn Johnson dives on the loose ball in front of the Caveman bench, and Bodie Bender will race down the sideline to call a possession-saving timeout. We will keep it right here. Heck, I've not seen that in a long time. Oops, it went in.
Well, Northridge is playing a 1-3-1 zone, and the bottom guy of the zone has the ball side block, which leaves the back end open because the opposite wing's got to break down and cover that. The opposite wing for Northridge did not break down. Arthur Jones saw an opening for a pass and maybe a lob, and instead of the lob, the ball hit off the back of the glass and went in.
And that was a 3, correct?
Yes, beautiful. How they drew it up, man.
Unbelievable. Does he get an assist for that too?
I don't know. That's
Probably not.
It's a great point.
But Arthur will tell you it's the best pass he's ever thrown.
I agree.
Inbounds Cavemen after the possession-saving timeout by Bodie Bender. 6:05 third quarter, Mishawaka leading 34-23. Pritchett, reverse skip pass to Rashawn. Rashawn out deep left point. Ball fakes in, goes out to Arthur. Fakes a 3, dribbles inside the arc, steps back, goes to Rashawn. Deep left side, foul line extension left side. He'll dribble penetrate to the free throw circle, draws a double team, rolls into the lane, can't get it to fall. Rebound, Brady Fisher, back up and in. 3, counted 3 yellow jerseys around him. Fisher recycles it for a 6-point. 36-23, down the lane, turning, spinning, jumping, and shooting is Ellenson. Alex Ellenson with a nice move in the paint. He's got to be careful. He's working with 2 fouls. Center floor now, Johnson. Goes right side to Brady. Fisher topside to Pritchett. Pritchett ball fakes, dribbles into the free throw lane. Kicks it topside to Herringer. All alone from three. Got it! Tommy Herringer with his 5th point from the floor. 7th overall, 39-25. Cavemen trying to pull away here in the third quarter.
That's a little screen at the top. Tommy popped instead of rolling, was wide open, knocked it in.
Mason Bales dribbles to the right point, gives it up now. Nolan Bales will catch and shoot from 3 and score it. Nolan Bales with his 7th point. First points of the second half, 39-28. Lead is 11 for Mishawaka with 4:45 to play, third quarter. Rasan with the basketball, goes topside to Herringer. Herringer fires right side, almost behind Arthur Jones, but Jones with a good save. Post feed, Pritchett fakes, leans in, muscles it up over top of Gamble, up and in. Cooper Pritchett with 5, 41-28 Cavemen. Faking right, dribbling. Mason Bales goes to the corner. Now Nolan, dribble drive in the paint, soft off the rim, no rebound, pulled down by Herringer. Tommy clears it for the Cavemen, up the floor to Arthur, across the timeline, puts on the brakes left side, fakes, Euro step, dribbles through the crowd, put it up and in, but a blocking foul before the shot will give Mishawaka possession out of bounds at 4:13 third quarter.
Cam Radiker has taken 2 charges tonight for Northridge, but not that time. Arthur was just a little too quick and Cam didn't get there.
Inbounds, Arthur Jones will trigger it. He'll lob it topside to a leaping Rasan Johnson. Now left side. Arthur, step back 3. Didn't have a good angle with the shot and off balance and shot up an air ball, and then the rebound ricocheted off the hand of Cooper Pritchett out of bounds. So possession Northridge. Cavemen lead by 13 with 4 minutes to play here in our third period from the Cave. Great crowd here tonight. Let's give them some more to cheer about. Center floor Campbell. Top side spinning is Bales. Goes to the left corner. Way outside the arc is Radiker. Picked up by Arthur. Now a switch defensively. Radiker spins it off left point to Ellenson. Tries to dribble drive on Herringer. Ball stripped away. Knocked away once by Johnson. Tapped by Fisher. Stolen by Rasan. Rasan will take it to the court. Running to the left side with a running hook shot well outside the lane. Got a very friendly roll as it spun off the rim and in. He's got 6. 43-28 Mishawaka. Under 3:30 to play here in the third quarter, and then Radiker tries to work around a defender, is reached in. Oh no, they're going to call a player control foul on Cam Radiker. Or actually, no, on Alex Ellenson. So an off-the-ball illegal screen. Ellenson's third. Timeout taken by Northridge. John Sparks, the acting head coach, will request the team timeout, a 30-second timeout. We will do the same with our score, Mishawaka 43, Northridge 28. We're back after this on 96.1 The Ton and the Mishawaka Network.
Some people see a huddle in the locker room. We see a second classroom. Some see a student athlete on the court. We see a future leader in the community. You see, high school sports in Indiana are special. That's because they're about learning and growing, not just winning and losing. Fans, I'm Commissioner Paul Neidig. Support education-based athletics in Indiana by buying a ticket to your high school's next athletic event.
Hey, with Ron Heklinski, I'm Brian Miller. Heck, third quarter has continued to be magical for Mishawaka. Here since halftime, they've outscored Northridge by a count of 14-8.
Yeah, so they have their starting group on, and their starting group is really good.
Baseline move by Brady Fisher. Pass deflected out to Arthur on the wing left side. Now goes center floor to Rasan. 3 minutes to go third quarter. Cavemen 43-28 leaders. Rasan will switch sides. Almost slips and falls down. Keeps his dribble. Keeps his balance. Now outside to Arthur. He'll float up a 3 and he'll nail it. That was not a pass. That was a shot. His 4th triple of the game and his 15th point. 46-28 Cavemen with 2:42 to play, third period. Little pull-up jumper, left point. Mason Bales misses. Rebound to Brady Fisher. Fisher with Rasan. He'll shuffle it behind him to Arthur, and he'll bring it through the center circle. Arthur, top of the circle, gets a screen from Tommy. Works it left side. Turns, spins, and stutter step, and called for a Caveman turnover. Traveling violation will give it back to the Raiders at 2:26 in the period.
That's the second turnover for the Cavemen, and I feel that Mishawaka could get whatever they want to get offensively here. If they remain patient and play some draw and kick basketball, I think they can get whatever they want.
Substitution, Dylan Springer, sophomore son of girls basketball coach at Northridge, Doug Springer, subs in to the Raider combination. His team, though, trails 46-28. Center floor now, Zepp. Backdoor bounce pass, looking to a cutter. That would be Mason Bales, but then Bales, with that low bounce pass, kind of had it kick off his shins and then roll as he kicked it out of bounds. Substitution, Raiders. Nolan Bales will sub back in for the aforementioned Wyatt Zepp. And at 2:13 third quarter, let's see if the Cavemen can add to this 46-28 lead. Backcourt press now by the Raiders. Rasan, he'll dribble it across the timeline, jump passes into the left point area to Arthur all alone, rocks the three up, misses, chases down the rebound, put it up and in, and Arthur Jones is fouled. What a great hustle play, working around three different yellow jerseys.
So Arthur said, if I can't make the three from 23 feet, I'll go get the rebound and make a three the old-fashioned way.
So Arthur Jones will go to the stripe where he is 1 of 2 tonight. Substitution, the Raiders will go back to Alex Ellenson. And also Hayden Johnson, a 6-foot freshman, will sub in for his first look of the night. Gideon Campbell will check out. And also Springer. No, Springer stayed in. That was actually radical.
3-point play the old-fashioned way by Art.
So Jones hitting the free throw makes it a 49-28 contest. This is Mishawaka's biggest lead at 21 points. Out left wing, 3-ball launched by Bales, missed. Rebound, Cooper Pritchett steps between the defenders, outlets to Arthur. Arthur on the flash, runs up the floor, running scoop layup, no good. Tipped up by Brady, tapped up, no. Rebound, Mason Bales, and a foul.
It's a great job of Brady Fisher going to the offensive glass, trying to get rebound and save possessions. I mean, Brady Fisher's a big boy now. 6'3", 6'4". He's agile. He's a football quarterback. He's got to be agile. I was telling him the other day in the hallway, he looks like an offensive tackle.
He loved that, didn't he?
No.
He didn't?
No, he must be the QB.
He's looking good. Hayden Johnson, the freshman, dribbles and almost fell down with it. Now post feeds to Ellenson. Stolen away by Jackson Snyder. He'll save it underneath to Brady Fisher, but his lob save is intercepted in the paint by Northridge's Dylan Springer in the right place at the right time, and he'll get an easy little garbage bucket under the basket to make it 49-30. Baseline left. Cooper Pritchett leans in, spins the bounce pass out to Herringer, fakes the outlet, delivers a topside tray, and nails it. Tommy Herringer with his second three. And a timeout, or do we just have a stoppage and play? Yeah, loose ball. So they'll stop the clock to chase the ball down, but the Cavemen extend the lead back up down to 52-30, their biggest lead at 22. Substitution, Northridge. They will bring Cam Radiker, the younger son of head coach Scott Radiker, who was not with the team tonight due to the death of his mother-in-law earlier today. Very sudden moment in their family life. Down on the baseline, turnaround spin move up and in by Mason Bales. Bales with 10, 52-32. The lead at 20 with 45 seconds third quarter. Brady Fisher gets some contact and will be called for an offensive player control foul as he ran over Nolan Bales. Now you could argue if Bales was truly set or not, but Fisher got him pretty good.
Yeah, he looks set to me, and it's just one of those plays where you know, if you're a baseball player and the pitcher gets you out, you tip your hat to him. In that situation, you tip your hat to Nolan Bales.
Ellenson dribbles to the wing left side, now kicks it out at 35 seconds, delivers it to Bales, who gives it back to Ellenson, and he'll put a little one-handed dunk for some style points. It's 52-34. Up the floor, bad pass by the Cavemen, but Son Johnson in midcourt was intercepted by Mason Bales. Outside of Radiker, he'll try the tray. Put it up, no. Tapped up, no by Ellenson. Rebound, Ellenson. Pritchett knocked it out of his hands, but possession will stay with Northridge at 14 seconds. Third quarter, Cavemen's lead is 18. Raiders substitution, Gideon Campbell, the sophomore, will sub in for senior Nolan Bales.
A couple of turnovers have led to a mini run here by Northridge.
Inbounds Cam Radiker. Works it at 10 seconds. Top of the circle. Goes to Ellenson. Looking left, delivers it outside. Radiker Steps around looking for a three. Instead goes to Mason Bales. He'll try the NBA three. No. Rebound. Ellenson just throws up a prayer for a hook shot. Rebound try. No good. And we go to the quarter break. 3 quarters in the books here from the Cave at Mishawaka High School. And another impressive third period for the Maroon and White. After 3-hour score, Mishawaka 52, Northridge 34. Fourth quarter play-by-play next on 96.1 The Ton and the Mishawaka Network. Quarter number 4. Along with Ron Heklinski, I'm Brian Miller. Another impressive third quarter saw Mishawaka outscore their opponent. Tonight it was Northridge 23-14 at the break. The alternate possession arrow to the Raiders. They work it down on the baseline. Cam Radiker with a running layup is missed as he went up for the shot. He actually bobbled the ball away. And then a frustration foul as he reached in and fouled Brady Fisher, who had intercepted that loose ball. Heck, your thoughts on period 3?
Yeah, again, Mishawaka comes with their starters. Their starting group is really, really talented, by the way, and they're fresh. They've rested them the second period, and again, they come out, they force turnovers, they get some runouts, and they're just a good basketball team. So the 23-14 scoring doesn't surprise me.
Fisher to Johnson. Johnson runs the sideline. Little hook pass off to the forecourt to Cooper Pritchett. Dribbles around. A crowd dishes inside to Brady Fisher with a cut to the basket up and in. Brady with his 8-point and Cooper Pritchett with a nice assist. 20-point game, 54-34, and then Radiker dribbles along the left wing, gets a double team, and then simply just dribbles the ball out of bounds. The sophomore just trying to do too much in that moment. And we'll turn it over, give it back to Mishawaka. Substitution for the Raiders. They will bring Gideon Campbell, 1/10th grader, for another. Backcourt inbounds, Mishawaka leading 54-34. Just underway here in period 4. Rasan dribbles, hook pass down to the left side to Herringer, who put it up and in, but well before that pass and shot, a bumping foul defensively on Northridge. Foul's going to be on number 11. That'll be Gideon Campbell, his second. That is the 5th on the Raiders here in the half. Inbounds, Tommy Herringer, baseline right. Goes to Jackson Snyder. Hook pass. Fisher strong to the glass, goes up for the shot, and he's fouled at the belt line by Mason Bales, and that should result in a couple of free throws.
Brady Fisher going to the line. So Brady does a great job inside. He's got great hands, got great body control. He can lean in, he can score. He's got a little dipsy doodle inside. And he's become a really, really good scorer for Mishawaka as he knocks down the first free throw.
And heck, in that third quarter, while Mishawaka was busy tallying 23 points in the period, he had 5 players score. Cooper Pritchett had a basket. Rasan Johnson had 2 baskets. Arthur Jones had 3 baskets, including a couple of threes. Free throw for Fisher is good. And Herringer had a couple of big threes. And Brady with a couple baskets. So good balance by the Cavemen in that period to add to their lead. Now, topside 3 launched on a fadeaway by Nolan Bales. No good. Rebounded by Brady Fisher, the Cavemen. They lead at 56-34, back to a 22, that is, point lead, which again matches their largest of the game at 7 minutes to play. Topside Rasan Gets a little bump against his defender who falls down. He'll give up the pass, and then outside Jackson Snyder refinds Johnson, who misses the three. Rebounded by Northridge. Up the floor, Mason Bales. Bales across the way. Right side three, missed by Hayden Johnson. The freshman with an air ball. Rebounded by Rasan Johnson. He'll try to force the bounce pass up the floor. Intercepted by Nolan Bales. Now goes to the corner. Dribble drive going up. Mason Bales has a strip and a foul. And now all kinds of people falling all over the place.
Mason Bales rips the baseline. Gets the ball knocked out of there by Tommy. His brother gets the rebound and gets pushed out of bounds, but the whistle had blown before then, and Mason Bales, the smooth left hand, will get a chance to make a couple free throws.
Jackson Snyder picking up that last Caveman foul, his first, team's fourth of the half. First free throw there by Northridge's Mason Bales. That is only the, third free throw attempted by the Raiders here tonight. Substitution, one of those among others. Good to see Maddox Yohe, who injured an ankle in the second quarter. He checks back in, along with Ace Troyer, and Arthur Jones returns for Mishawaka as well. Second free throw, Mason Bales goes 2 for 2 to make this a 56-36 contest. 6:33 to play. Backcourt inbounds, Yohe gives it to Arthur, and then trying to go over and through the defense of Nolan Bales is called for a bumping foul.
That should be the seventh foul, no?
You are correct, yes. Yep. Third foul on Nolan Bales, seventh on the team, so we will move to the 1-and-1. One of the bonus for the Cavemen for the next three fouls.
So with 6:32 in this game, the Cavemen will be shooting free throws. So let me talk about this. A great marketing move by Mishawaka, having their cheerleader camp and having the 60 or so little cheerleaders out here cheering at halftime, which means their parents are bringing them to the game, which means there's people in the game.
Extra attendance, and there probably a few more boxes of popcorn sold tonight.
Well, you know what that's called? It's called marketing.
Amen, baby. First free throw by Arthur Jones, nothing but net. He will go 2 for 2 as he hits the second. On the night, has hit 4 or 5. And it's 58-36, again back to a 22-point Mishawaka lead. Center floor, Northridge. Mason Bales. Dribble fakes and pumps, looks at something, nothing there. He'll swing it left side. Three ball by Nolan Bales, up no good. Loose ball rebound, Karam's out. Arthur Jones runs up the floor, kicks it left side. Ace Troyer, ball fakes, leans in, puts it up off the window. Oh, off the mark, no good. Thought he might get a friendly bounce, but Ace Troyer is going to shoot a couple of free throws after yet another foul on the Northridge defense.
Ace Troyer missed his whole junior year while working out in the summer. After his sophomore year, he injured his knee and missed football, missed basketball. I'm so happy to see him back playing again.
First free throw by Ace Troyer, looking for his first points of the night. His first free throw is off the mark, no good. He'll have one more. Second free throw by the right-hander is nothing but net. He gets on the scoreboard, and it's now 59-36, Mishawaka by 23, their biggest lead of the game. Baseline right. Radiker out left corner, gives it up, and the three ball launched and scored by Dylan Springer. His fifth point. 59-39, 5:50 to play. Arthur dribbles around 1, 2, and 3 defenders, and then from behind, the ball is punched out of bounds into the end zone, and one of those aforementioned young little cheerleaders just made a pretty nice save on that ball in the front row.
I like that.
Maybe she'll be on Chad Blasco's roster sooner than later. Inbounds, Cavemen. Rasan Johnson, left wing. Arthur, post lob into Fisher. Turnaround hook shot with the right hand, no good. And the rebound to Ellenson for Northridge. 5:35 to play in the game. Ellenson top side. Gives it up now to Radiker. Out to the right wing. Three ball missed on the long range missile. Rebound. Arthur outlets to Yohe, and in full stride, Maddox Yohe with one step and a lay-in, his first point from the field, and it's 61-39 Cavemen. Great look by Arthur Jones, who gets an assist. Radiker goes around the defender and blows right by Ace Troyer for the running lay-in. 61-41, again a 20-point ball game. Backcourt, Brady Fisher works it up the floor to Arthur Jones. 5 minutes to play. Arthur fakes right, goes left, turns, spins, fades, fires, rimming, no. Rebound on the miss. Dylan Springer, Northridge. The outlet for Radiker, almost picked away by Arthur. Arthur sticking around trying to get a steal, and then Radiker dribbles in the lane and bumps an off-balance Maddox Yohe. And now a couple of words are exchanged. And now cooler heads prevail as one of the officials will have an extended conference with Maddox Yohe.
I mean, I have no idea what Maddox is talking to him about. It was obviously a block, and the little sophomore took the ball down the lane hard, but Maddox wasn't set. So I don't know what that was about.
Yohe's foul is his first, team's fifth. Common foul inbounds for Northridge, who trail by 20 with 4:43 to play. Inbounds Radiker. Goes to Ellenson. They'll swing it left side. Dribble drive, running finger layup is good by Mason Bales, and a foul defensively on the Cavemen.
Mason Bales is going to be a really nice player. 6'2" sophomore. He's left-handed. He's got some quickness. His brother Nolan is more of a set shooter, and Mason is more of a driver and an athlete.
So a foul on Mishawaka. Brady Fisher on the defense, guilty on the foul. That saw the Mason Bales bucket go in, and now he will shoot a free throw and connect for an old-fashioned three-point play to make this a 61-44 ball game. Raiders trying to make a little comeback here in this fourth period with 4:35 to play. Now Maddox Yohe dribbles into the forecourt, gets a bump from Radiker. Flips it out right side. Ball off the hands of Rasan, and then Rasan grabs possession, and then his toe was just barely stepping out of bounds. The official right on top of the play. Substitution. Tommy Herringer will return for the Cavemen. Mishawaka Knight just not able to completely put this Raider club away. Radiker inbound, races up the floor. Gives left side to Nolan Bales. Top of the circle now to Ellenson. Hands it away to Springer. 4:17 to play. Springer delivers in the paint, kicks it out to Bales. Nolan turning, spinning, left-handed hook shot up rimmy, no, and he draws a foul as he able to run into a Mishawaka defender off balance. And that'll be Maddox Yohe's second and the team's seventh at 4:11 to play. Go ahead, Heck. Go ahead.
Bodie puts Tommy Herringer back in because he doesn't like this little mini run by Northridge, and he's going to make sure that the Cavemen finish this out the right way. As now this lead is down to 16, which is still a comfortable lead with 4 minutes left.
But as good as a three-point shooting team Northridge is, that is truly like 5 possessions.
Exactly.
So free throws go good to make it 61-46. Backcourt inbounds. Rasan Johnson gets it, now gives to Arthur in the corner. Left side Herringer. Herringer reverse skip pass to Rasan. Dribbles to the right corner. All alone. 3-ball. Launched and missed by Maddox Yohe. No good. Rebounded Ellenson. Ellenson dribbles right, goes left, and cuts down the middle of the lane with a nice spin move. His 9th point. And Bodie Bender is going to burn a Mishawaka timeout. And he is not a happy camper right now. His team was on the verge of blowing this Raider club out of the gym and have let them back in this ball game. Well, 13 points at 61-48. We'll keep it right here.
They've taken a couple of quick shots. So high school players have a really difficult time with time and score. What might be a pretty good shot in the first quarter or the third quarter might not be a great shot with a 15-point lead with 4 minutes left. And especially since whenever you get fouled, you're going to the free throw line. So I think he's going to remind them of that, to move the ball a little bit and take some time off this clock and finish this win the right way.
Again, the lead was up to 24, checked at 23 as memory serves. But it has been trimmed down to 61-48. There's still time here in this fourth quarter. Hey fans, tonight's uniform descriptions and sponsor of high school sports on the radios, featured by Kevin Drazier and the team at BSN Sports. BSN supplies uniforms and team apparel for several, area high schools, including your K-Men from Mishawaka. If your team wants to look good, Call Kevin Drazier, the BSN Sports team at 229-79-99. After the K-Man timeout, an overthrown pass on the inbounds, overleading a wide receiver-esque type break by Arthur Jones. Jones couldn't chase down the bad pass, and Mishawaka turns it over. So 3:45 to play. Raiders have the basketball. He will work it topside. Springer. Behind him goes to Bales. Bales fakes it right, goes left. Picked up by Maddox Yohe. Now Springer. Springer back left corner. The post feed inside to Ellenson. Back to the basket, running hook shot over Tommy Herringer is up and good. Ellenson's got 11, and don't look now, it's an 11-point ball game at 61-50. Backcourt now Arthur Jones. Races across the way, finds a wide open Brady Fisher under the basket, and an easy lay-in for two at his 12th point. 63-50.
That's the problem when you try and double Arthur in the backcourt, because, I mean, he's going to split it, and there's going to be an open player somewhere.
Now against just one defender, Arthur will bring it across the timeline at 3 minutes to play. K-Ben back up by 13 now, 63-50. Hash mark left side, it is Arthur going center floor to Maddox Yohe. Ball fakes right, dribbles with the left hand, puts on the brakes, goes to Rasan. Give it a go, Yohe. He'll try a touch pass underneath to Brady Fisher. It's tapped, deflected under the basket, and saved from out of bounds by Brady. Up the floor on the steal, here comes Bales. Bales in midcourt is tied up. Springer recovers with a loose ball, knocked it away from Brady Fisher. He'll let it to Ellenson, and he'll dunk it. First 13 point. 63-52, game still 11 points at 2:26 to go, and a reach-around foul on Alex Ellenson, and that will be his 5th. That is a big, big foul, and kind of a silly foul on the Raider senior.
Well, it's just very difficult to double Arthur 84 feet away from the basket. He's not going to turn it over. He's going to split you, and you're going to foul him, and that's exactly what happened. Now Arthur's at the line with a 1-and-1, and we'll have a chance to extend this lead.
So Ellenson fouls out. Gideon Campbell returns to the Raider combination, and Arthur Jones at the free throw line, where he is 4 of 5 at the line tonight, including 2 for 2 here in the fourth quarter. 63-52 Mishawaka, who led by as many as 23 points, and was right on the verge of making this a laugher. They had some turnovers, had a couple of untimely fouls, a couple of kind of ugly offensive possessions, and before you know it, the Raiders had cut it to 11 and forced first-year head coach for the K-Man, Bodie Bender, to burn a timeout, and he was not happy. Second free throw by Arthur, nothing but net. He's 4 for 4 here in the fourth quarter, 6 of 7 on the night at the stripe, and at 65-52 K-Man. Radiker, left side at 2:20 to play. Works at top of the circle now. Goes to Springer, to Bales. Works it inside on Brady Fisher. Now dribble drive by Mason. Bales in the paint, fakes, double pump jumper, put up no. Rebounded by Tommy Herringer. Herringer outlets to Arthur Jones. Jones from behind has his pocket pick. He'll chase it back down. Loose ball, dribble drive. Jones in the paint, little runner, up and good, but wipe out the basket. Jones called for the offensive player control foul.
And that is the third charge taken by the sophomore Cam Radiker, Coach Scott Radiker's son. And again, Arthur left his feet. And there's no need to do that. I mean, time and score. Time and score.
Possession Raiders. 1:54 counting here in the fourth. Radiker, who just took that charge, turns, spins the lane. Runner doesn't get it to fall. Just off the iron, no good. And the rebound down to Mishawaka. Down to 100 seconds to play, leading 65-52. Long right side, sideline. Fisher underneath to Pritchett. Goes up against the defender, gets hammered and fouled. He'll go to the line, looking to add to this 13-point advantage. And only a few of the fine crowd that has gathered here tonight starting to head for the exits. This has been an entertaining high school basketball game.
Yeah, it's been a great environment, been a great crowd. Mishawaka's played well, and Northridge got off to a rough start, but came back, got themselves back in this game, and both teams are still battling.
Cooper Pritchett with a two-shot opportunity, missing the first, hitting the second. He gets his 6th point of the game, 66-52, with 1:30 to play. Center floor now, Nolan Bales. Bales off left side to brother Mason, who will line it up from NBA range for 3. his third triple, and a timeout taken by John Sparks, interim head coach tonight, acting head coach for Northridge, and the Raiders will board the full timeout. We'll do the same, a minute 26, fourth quarter, 11-point ball game. Mishawaka 66, Northridge 55. You're in two with K-Band basketball on 96.1 The Ton and the Mishawaka Network.
This is your IHSAA. This is your state. This is your high school. This is your athletic association.
Fans, I'm IHSA Commissioner Paul Knighty, and we're here to make sure that all of this remains yours.
This is your state. This is your community. This is your IHSAA.
Calls a timeout, and he's going to draw up another play, which he has a lot of those home run plays, those long passes in his back pocket, and he's going to draw one up that will be conducive to the defense that he saw Northridge play.
Let's face it, as you're in an 11-point ball game, if you do not score here and Northridge scores, now it's a three-possession ball game. And the Raiders can hit the three-pointer. They have done that with great regularity tonight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 trays. Actually a little below their normal average. So this game is not wrapped up quite yet, and certainly this is a key possession why Bodie Bender, first-year K-Band head coach, taking that timeout.
Look for maybe some kind of a back screen and a long pass. So if you see Tommy Herringer taking the ball out of bounds, that should tip you off that they're looking to run the home run play, because Tommy, obviously, as you know, has a great arm, a pitcher on the baseball team, so he can throw them with the best of them.
Nobody will guard the inbounder. That will be Herringer. Waiting for a cutter to come near side, and finally coming back to the basketball is Cooper Pritchett. Now we'll dip it back deeper in the backcourt to Rasan. He'll run it up the floor. Now to Arthur. Post feed into Tommy. Goes up for the shot. He's grabbed and fouled by Hayden Johnson, the Raider freshman. And that will send Tommy Herringer to the free throw line to shoot a pair for the K-Band.
That would have been a pretty big mismatch. The freshman going against the 6'4", 240-pound Tommy Herringer. Tommy can seal this deal here with a couple free throws.
He's 2 for 2 tonight. Those back in the second quarter, and he'll throw this one off the front side and around the rim with a soft touch up and in. Tommy with his 11th point. He averages 10 points, 5 rebounds, and 2 assists per ball game, and has provided those stats plus tonight. Second free throw by the right-hander. This slithers in and out, no good. Rebound, Cooper Pritchett, put back up, no. Loose ball rebound, snagged out to the right hash mark area, and Arthur Jones chases it down and is immediately fouled. Fouled there by the Raiders.
Northridge didn't have a big in there to get on the free throw line block out, and Cooper Pritchett took advantage of that as he's physical and he tapped that rebound out. Arthur has a chance now to add to his point total.
Jones with another free throw, 5 for 5 of those here tonight in this fourth quarter. And most importantly, in the scheme of things, other than the 10th win in a row for Mishawaka, it will be their 4th win in 4 outings in the Northern Lakes Conference. They'll tie it up with Northwood going to next weekend's action. 1:05 to play in the period and in the ball game, and Bales dribbles through some K-Band defense. And let's see who will pick up the foul, Arthur Jones, or is it Cooper Pritchett? Cooper Pritchett will pick up foul number 1. That would have been Arthur's fourth, so that's probably a good foul for the Cavemen there, where Northridge will bring Dylan Springer back into the combination, and Mishawaka will sub Jackson Snyder back in for Cooper Pritchett. 1:04 to play. It's 69-55.
Jackson Snyder gives you another ball handler and gives you an excellent free throw shooter.
Mishawaka's lead is big as 23, but here in this fourth quarter, Northridge kind of hanging around. Free throw by the southpaw up and good. Mason Bales, the sophomore of the senior-sophomore duo. Mason Bales, the 10th grader. He's having a heck of a ball game. And now 5 for 5 at the free throw line all here in the fourth quarter for the Raiders sophomore. And it's 69-57, 12-point game. We're at 1 minute to play. Backcourt, Arthur races up the floor, and from behind it's knocked away. Mason Bales from behind punched it out from Arthur's dribble, but it went into the first row of the Mishawaka student section. They're in their Hawaiian gear here tonight, and have been spirited, have had a lot of fun here. Inbounds Jackson Snyder, about lob into the backcourt now to Arthur. 55 seconds. Jones fakes, dribbles into the right side, goes to Brady, fakes the outlet pass to Herringer, and then he gets hog-tied by Mason Bales, who grabbed not one but both hands on Brady Fisher's pass attempt. That'll be Bales' second foul of the night, well over the 10 limit, and the double bonus. And Brady Fisher will go back to the free throw line where he's 2 of 3 tonight. Right-hander rattles the free throw up and in. Substitution, Cooper Pritchett back in for Jackson Snyder. And the Raiders will go with a couple bigs back in the lineup, including Wyatt Zepp and freshman Brady Scholl. 49 seconds to play, 70-57 Mishawaka. But early in this period, we thought the Cavemen, after a lead of as much as 23, were going to run and hide in this. But since about the 5-minute mark in this fourth quarter, as Fisher hits the next free throw, 71-57. Northridge has just refused to play dead. And from behind, the pocket of Campbell is picked. Loose ball intercepted by the Cavemen and brought up into the forecourt. Brady Fisher had a fast break opportunity for Arthur Jones, who elected to put on the brakes and bring it back out and just eat some clock now. Probably a wise choice. Down to 30 seconds. Rasan Johnson and the Cavemen are just going to work the basketball. And Mishawaka is 23 seconds away from their 10th win of the season. Arthur Jones center floor to Rasan. Down to 15 seconds. The Raiders are going to suffer their 7th straight loss. Rasan now will cut to the basket and get the layup up and in for his 8th point. 73-57. Up the floor now quickly. Springer dribbles to the lane. Little right-handed floater. Up no good. Rebounded Tommy Herringer, who will do his John Shoemate impression by throwing the ball up into the rafters as time has expired. Final score from the Cave. Mishawaka 73. Northridge 57. Stay tuned. Our post-game show is just around the corner. We will take a look at scoring. We'll check statistics. We'll have updates on the U.S. Signcrafters scoreboard, and certainly we'll look ahead in this Northern Lakes Conference chase. The Cavemen chasing a championship, as well looking ahead to their next home game and next regular season contest. On Tuesday, they will host the Fairfield Falcons. We'll preview that game as well. All that and more on the way during our post-game show. Coming up next, here on your home for the Cavemen. Once again, our final score, Mishawaka 73, Northridge 57. You heard it on 96.1 The Ton.